What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video. And the New England Patriots are 2 days into training camp, and they are already making some more additions. Now, this is not surprising at all, okay? New England has about 7 open roster spots. Well, now they have 6 open roster spots after this signing, so more signings for the Patriots are expected, and looks like they're trying to add some depth here to the wide receiver position as they are signing wide receiver Josh Hammond to a 1-year contract. Now, Hammond is still pretty new to the NFL. He is still very, very raw, okay? He's only 24 years old, so if you're somebody who wants the Patriots to get younger, bring in a guy that they could potentially develop, this is somebody who fills that mold. He originally entered the NFL as an undrafted free agent just back in 2020, in which he only played about 49 games while at college at the University of Florida. Now, he spent his rookie season on the practice squad for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then due to the rule change of the practice squad here for the NFL, a change in which I think we all love because you get a whole lot more elevation, so you get more chances to see players from the practice squad actually, be elevated and play in actual NFL games. He appeared in 2 games due to that elevation last season, totaling about 13 snaps on offense and 2 snaps on special teams. Now, he was actually recently released by the Jacksonville Jags. He was only released by them back in May, and that's when the Philadelphia Eagles came through. They claimed him off of waivers, and as you already know, that did not last very long. Now, it seems like the Patriots actually jumped on the opportunity to bring him in for a workout because they actually did bring him in for a workout. That's why he was signed. It went from a workout into an official signing. But he was released by the Eagles just a day before training camp for the Eagles. So he was actually released just on Tuesday, and the Patriots hopped on the opportunity to work him out. Workout went good, and they officially signed him. And unfortunately, there's really not a lot to report about this guy. There's not a lot of information about him. He didn't see a lot of action in his time in college, which really did lead to him being a UDFA. He wasn't a big priority UDFA either. I can't even really give you guys his 40 time or his vertical jump or his broad jump or his 20-yard shuttle or his 3-cone drill because there's no times to report on those, not even a bench press. Now, his projected 40 time would have been about a mid 4.4 to a mid 4.5. So this guy isn't really going to bring speed, at least nothing that's going to burn anyone. He's not going to beat anyone with his speed. Not a big receiver. Now, he's not necessarily short. He's about average height here when we're looking at the NFL, 6 foot, 192 pounds. The storyline for this guy really is going to be untapped potential. Okay, during his time in Florida, he was really pushed down that depth chart because of all of the depth, all of the talent that the Gators already had on their offense. One of those guys being Van Jefferson. In 2017, though, in college with the Gators, he was able to finish 3rd on the team in reception, in which he hauled in 18 receptions for 246 yards. Now, I really had to dig for information on this guy, but from the general idea I've gotten from him, he's the type of guy who, again, untapped potential, not a lot of tape on him. He's somebody who is going to definitely have to be developed. He's not somebody that I expect to start standing out in Patriots camp, but if he can show a little something, I think best case he gets on the practice squad for the Patriots. And then maybe with some development, he could become something. But he's a versatile pass catcher who really his game, the best part of his game is going to be yards after the catch. And that's really a need the Patriots have. So you can't necessarily hate this signing, especially when there's not a lot on the open market. The Patriots don't have a lot of money, and they had 7 roster spots that they were looking to fill. For the most part here, the Patriots wide receiver core is pretty stacked, okay? Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne. I mean, these are all guys that are primarily locks to make this roster. Not to mention then, Trey Nixon, little Jordan Humphrey. and all these other receivers trying to strive and take a last-minute push to make this Patriots final roster. But again, you look at all the receivers the Patriots have, and there's really only one guy, pass catcher-wise, or at least at the wide receiver position, that I would say really does manufacture yards after the catch, and that's Kendrick Bourne. Jakobi Meyers, he's a guy who's going to make some tough catches, make some tough grabs in traffic, but other than that, he's not going to give you anything after the catch, no blazing speed, anything like that. I would say Kendrick Bourne and Jonnu Smith are really the only two players that give you something after the catch. Adding Hammond here will give you that ability to have somebody who can give you something after he gets the ball into his hands, as long as you can get him into an open space, as 55% of his total receiving yards in college were really manufactured after he caught the ball. He's also going to be a real sure-handed wide receiver, probably the most untalked about area of his game. He went 20 straight games. Okay, let me repeat that. Not even 20 straight receptions, 20 straight games without dropping a single pass. Now, while transitioning from the college or collegiate level, to the NFL, heading into the NFL draft process, this is what Florida Gators wide receiver had to say about him. And I quote, he says, "He's a leader on and off the field. He's a college graduate. He has an extremely fantastic work ethic. He's got a passion to help others. He's Mr. Reliable. He's going to do everything right." Now, that sounds like your classic Bill Belichick player, especially at the wide receiver position. This is what he likes to have in his receivers. You know, some of the best guys that fit that mold in the past have been guys, and I hate to put them in the same sentence, but, you know, guys like Julian Edelman or Wes Welker or Danny Amendola or Chris Hogan, guys who really weren't the most talented. They weren't first, second, or even third round picks, but because they were reliable, because they were leaders on and off the field, because they had that drive and work ethic, it just translated to this system. But what are your guys' thoughts on this move? Obviously, there's not a whole lot to talk about it, but hopefully I was able to give you guys some information that you just weren't able to hear anywhere else. Last thing I will say, too, is that he has been one of those guys, at least since transitioning to the NFL, who has put up pretty good preseasons. And we do know the Patriots, do like to bring guys in last minute that can potentially show out into the preseason. Like I said, he was one of the more productive receivers from last year's preseason. He actually ranked 6th in catches with 12 and 12th in yards with 124. But let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.
In Astroworld.